In this lecture, we're going to go ahead and add in that cork. So I'm going to add a new layer above all of my layers. And the way we're going to create this cork is first, we're going to go ahead and just select our cork color off of our cork reference. There's its color right there. It's in that position. Hit OK. Then just using a hard-edged brush, we're just going to go ahead and paint in a basic cork shape. Don't worry if this isn't perfect, we can go ahead and erase away to create the exact shape that we want. So something about like so. Make sure you get that rounded bottom. Next, we're going to go ahead and erase away these edges to get the shape we want. So just like so. Perfect. Now we're going to go ahead and achieve this rounded top. So the way we're going to do that is by using our circular marquee tool. And then we're going to make a selection that's about the size and width of our cork. And then we want to get the right angle in there. So the angle would be how squashed your circle is. So something about like that should be good. Then we're going to invert the selection by hitting Control-Shift-I or Command-Shift-I. So now what this is going to allow us to do is it's going to allow us to erase this edge away and leave the middle the same. Let's do this once more, but down here. Down here we're going to have a little bit more of a rounded curve, so we can bring our circle down a little bit more. So about there should be good. Then we'll get that all lined up like so. Then we'll hit Control-Shift-I to invert it and erase away this edge. Perfect. See how that looks? Awesome. Now I'm going to nudge it over just a little bit with my arrow keys and maybe down a little bit. So about there. Perfect. I'm also going to erase away these little edges that we missed. Great. Next, let's go ahead and select the shape of our layer. And then we're going to add a new layer above that. And then let's select this color over here that they're using for their highlight. So it's just a lighter brown. There's the color number right there. There's its position. And then using my brush tool and making sure I'm on a soft edged brush, we can go ahead and start painting in those highlights. I'm going to bring my brush opacity down to 20%. And first we're just going to paint in the basic shape of those highlights. So something like so. Then I'm going to bring my brush size down. And now we're really going to start getting into the real detail of it. So basically we're getting the highlight on this edge because the light source is coming from over here, and we're also getting the light source coming from somewhere over here, and so it's hitting this surface. Great. Next, let's go ahead and grab an even lighter highlight color. So we're going to come up to about there and come into our yellows. So about there should be good. And then we'll go ahead and add our second layer of highlight. You'll notice here that I'm kind of doing little small strokes. That's to add some texture to make it look more interesting. And then we can follow this edge with our highlight. Same with this back edge over here. Perfect. Now let's grab one more highlight color, and we're going to make this one a little bit brighter and a little bit more yellow. Then we can start painting in this highlight. Now I'm going to go ahead and select out of here. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to paint over this a little bit more just to make it look a little bit more hand painted. So I'm going to select colors in here. So that color right there, and switching over to my brush tool and bringing my brush opacity up to 100%. I'm going to go ahead and paint along that edge like so. Same with there. And so I'm just going to keep selecting my colors and then painting with them. By the way, if you hold down I to switch over to your eyedropper tool and then you select your color and then let go, that will allow you to switch back over to your brush tool really quickly. Rather than having to switch between the two of them manually, you can just keep holding down I, select your color, and let go. Just make sure you don't just press the I, because that's going to select your eyedropper and keep it on your eyedropper. Great. Next, what I want to do is I want to paint a little bit over this edge right here because it doesn't really look like it's going into the glass. So I'm going to select the color we have around here, and I'm going to go ahead and sort of paint that in by hand. And then I'm going to select this even lighter white color. I'm going to paint a little bit more highlight in. Now, I know I'm not on my highlight layer right now, but that's okay because we're about to merge this all together, so it's one layer. I'm going to select a little bit darker version of that, but still pretty light, and I'll add it right around this edge. I went a little bit too much over the edge here, so I'll just go ahead and paint some of that back in. Perfect. Let's go ahead and zoom out and see how that looks. Awesome. Now we can go ahead and turn off our background shape. So this first shape that we made, we can go ahead and turn that off and see how it looks now. So you can see how we can see through the bottle and see this gray background. That's really nice, and it's going to make your bottle look a lot more realistic in your game. Now let's go ahead and merge all these layers together, but before we do that, we want to select them all. And then we're going to make a copy, and then we can merge those layers together. Then we'll take the rest of these layers, select them, and put them into a folder so we still have those. Also, now that this layer is merged, you'll see here on this edge where we had the glowing effect on our gold part, it kind of came out outside of our bottle, and since it's an effect, you can't really cut it off. And so now that it's one layer and rasterized, we can go ahead and erase that away with our erase tool as best as possible. And you can get in there really close if you'd like and get it really well, but I don't think most people are really going to notice that. Perfect. Now, I'm really curious to know what this looks like in the world of Rayman. So let's go ahead and bring in a background and see how it looks. So I have this background from Rayman. I'm going to go ahead and drag this layer by clicking it and dragging it into my Rayman background, like so. And then we can shrink that down. See how that looks. So let's say that was a potion in the corner just saying you have 10 potions or whatever. It looks pretty good. It fits right in there. All right. Now, how do you save this out so it has a transparent background and it's not a PSD file? Because you can't use PSD files in your game. Well, let's come back into our document and let's go ahead and turn off this background layer and turn off this reference image. Then we're going to come up to File, Save As, and we're going to change this from a Photoshop document to a PNG document. And what this allows us to do is it allows us to save out with transparent backgrounds. So let's go ahead and hit save. So now we have that. Perfect. Your assignment for this lecture is to create this project if you haven't already. Once you create it, I want you to apply it to a game background. So it can be a background that you've already created, or it can be a background of a game that's already out there. Once you've done that, go ahead and post it to the Q&A section of the course, and I can't wait to see your work. Thanks for watching this lecture, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one.